Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Audiophile, audio enthusiast, why does it matter for a review? Part 3 of a 3-part series where we discuss different descriptors of an audiophile and an audio enthusiast. Now we get to talk about why that matters in a review. But first, let's recap. A audio enthusiast is someone who enjoys music and gear. They desire to get the most enjoyment out of each listening moment. They obsess about the specs and capabilities, dissect the gear, not the music, and they search for that next wow moment, product, or song. An audiophile is someone who seeks an accurate reproduction of real life instruments and vocals. They enjoy critiquing each listening moment, dissecting the music through the gear while listening for naturalism and realism. So how does all this apply to a reviewer? A reviewer needs to be open and honest about the terms and definitions that they use and why. By doing this, reviewers will help their viewers and readers learn how to interpret the review. Going forward with time, the reviewer's audience will understand the perspective and approach instead of being confused and frustrated by the reviewer's use of undefined terms and definitions. Number 2, a reviewer should share what gear they use on a regular basis and why. This will help the audience to compare with their own experiences so they better understand what the reviewers are hearing and why. If the reviewer is constantly using different gear and not telling the audience what gear is being used, then they will be confused and misunderstand the review. Number 3, reviewers should define what they are seeking and or what their preferences are and why. This is the easiest and best way to let the audience know whether or not they are an audiophile or an audio enthusiast. A reviewer giving their definitions of an audiophile and an audio enthusiast will help the audience to understand the approach and the perspectives of the reviews. Number 4, reviewers should share what music they use for reviewing purposes and what they listen to on a regular basis for enjoyment. This doesn't have to be done in the actual review. It can be a link in the description. It can be shared randomly, mentioning or sharing music preferences on forums, servers, live streams. It can help the audience connect with the reviewer and also their reviews. Getting to know what type of music the reviewer uses and enjoys helps the audience to explore different genres and also opens the avenue to hear what the reviewer hears on gear pairings. Number 5, reviewers should state whether or not they use streaming services or what musical services, network streamers, music management programs, and why. This will help the audience to relate to the reviewer with commonalities and preferences. For example, I use Audiphile, Tidal, Amazon HD, and also have about 4,000 song library of local MP3, FLAC, and DSD files. Reviewers should share how they relate to the music and gear and how it interacts with their personal life in the past or present. Doing this adds a personal touch to the reviews, to the live stream, and it'll help the audience to understand the reviewer on a more intimate level. Focusing more on relating and communicating with the audience than growing the subscriber count will ultimately grow the reviewer's audience's respect. And also it'll help with loyalty. Reviewers should focus more on accurate sonic impressions and comparisons than actual, just the video and picture and quality and production of the video itself. It should most importantly be about the sonic impressions and comparisons. So in conclusion, these are just my random thoughts about audiophiles and audio enthusiasts and what they're seeking and how it applies to reviews. I haven't done any scientific research or polls. I'm just basing my conclusions off my personal experiences and observations. Let's be clear. There is a difference between an audiophile and an audio enthusiast. There are audiophiles and audio enthusiasts in all budget sizes. There's a lot more than just money spent that goes into being an audiophile or an audio enthusiast. It's not complicated. Many enthusiasts and audiophiles can have an attitude that price dictates performance. They can be elitist to others and offend people that don't have what they have, no matter the price or the gear. And that's just wrong. I believe a reviewer or a viewer or a user or customer, whatever name you want to slap on it, they can be either an audiophile or an audio enthusiast. But a reviewer should be honest and open with their audience about whether or not they are an audiophile or an audio enthusiast. If a reviewer cannot honestly and openly answer the question, are you an audiophile or an audio enthusiast, and why, that should be a red flag. There is nothing wrong with being an audiophile or an audio enthusiast, or a hybrid of the two. There are a lot of similarities, but a few differences that set each one of them apart. One focuses more on gear, measurements, graphs, and specs. The other focuses more on the music, the instruments, the vocals, and the reproduction. Understanding what an audiophile and an audio enthusiast are listening for can help explain the gear and the sources that they use and desire. There are all sorts of gear available, and it can get very hard to figure out what you're getting sonically. But you won't know what to purchase if you don't know what you want and why. I am an audiophile. I am pursuing an accurate, natural, and realistic reproduction of instruments and vocals. Ask yourself, am I an audiophile, an audio enthusiast, or a little bit of both? Second, ask yourself, is my favorite reviewer an audiophile, an audio enthusiast, or a little bit of both? Thirdly, ask, why did I answer both of those in that way? It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. And then don't forget to check out the links down below. There's all kinds of information for how you can contact the channel, follow the channel, support the channel, all that kind of good stuff, along with information like gear recommendations, music recommendations, tier lists, all kinds of good things down below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video, and to enjoy the music, and that honesty is the best policy.